Hello, my name is Osmond, and I'm going to do a VOD review for Rompindonkey on the Roadhog here on Rialto. This is a bronze Roadhog around the 1000 SR area. I believe this game is also an open queue, and that's why we're currently seeing 1 support and 4 DPS and a Roadhog. Open queue, definitely a little bit weirder as far as kind of like how team comps go and how the game sort of plays in a way. And I'm going to tell you straight up front that I have no experience with open queue. I technically do because I used to play it back a long time ago when there wasn't roll queue. But as soon as roll queue came in, I took the game a lot more seriously, and I really focused on roll queue. So most of what I have to say, like team compositionally and how to approach certain maps, doesn't really come from the perspective of playing competitive back when GOATS was meta, which I understand is still kind of meta. So ideally here, you would actually be playing GOATS if you were playing really like competitive in a higher level. But instead we are playing 4 DPS and 1 healer and a Roadhog. Ideally, this Mercy should never have to connect with you. That's one thing I'll notice like right off the beginning here. With 4 DPS, each one of those DPS is going to expect to have some level of healing in some way to get some like healing resources from this Mercy. This Mercy's not actually going to be able to damage boost people very often. She's going to pretty much be a heal bot because she kind of has to. And if she's spending a lot of time healing you, then she's not really able to keep the rest of her team up. So it's going to be kind of important in this situation for you to not take too many resources from that Mercy. And by that I mean you try to like put yourselves in position where you can pretty much sustain yourself with your vape. Okay, coming up top here is fine. You know, I actually don't mind that. Like at least me. I've played this map a lot, like with Hog on defense, and one of the first plays I'll make as a Roadhog is I'll be like standing here waiting for the team just to get up to about the bridge, and then I'll kind of reveal myself and go for like a hook off the map. Like that's actually something I will go for quite often. And if the enemy Hog is here, they might go for that. And if you're just sitting here waiting for something like that Hog, that's a perfect opportunity. Like you'll probably get the hook up on him. So actually not bad sticking around there. That was kind of nice. Okay, got to right click, little right click, an E, a little early. Okay, there's the enemy Hog. Okay, looking to hook him off the edge. Nice. He right clicked you for some reason. That's kind of weird. To be able to take down this Rhine. Very nice. Okay, and so, yeah, Mercy's just going to res that Rhine. It's kind of weird. You have a hook here. Nice. Go back a second. Okay, so now I put a post with a bunch of tips, and you read through that, so you kind of understand that now. But in this situation, right, let's slow down a little bit here. Okay, you can go for this hook. It would be nice, though, to throw a right click ahead of time. This is about a good distance to be able to get some decent damage with a right click first. And so what you do is you throw a right click first and then hook. It's a pretty fast little combo. Like, it's so fast between the shot and the hook that the shot's never going to really give away the hook that much, and you're not going to miss the hook as a result. So it's totally safe to do. Okay, and so imagine right now, right? Let's look, right? Imagine if you had taken a right click on this first. You chopped off a little bit of his armor there, maybe. Okay. Now you're going to pull him in here, and he's got a lot of health. All right. He's got armor. That armor is going to chip away at the amount of damage you can do with this shot. And even if you landed this shot perfectly, you would not be able to kill this Bastion. There's just no way. All right. So if you look at his health there, he still has that yellow armor. He still has just a tiny bit of armor there. So yeah, he didn't go for the melee, but I actually think it's correct to not go for the melee in this situation, because if you did, it would delay your next shot, and your melee would only do 30 damage anyway. So I wouldn't want to delay these follow-up shots. These follow-up shots could actually get to kills. All right. I want to go back because I actually didn't. I wanted to look at is did you walk forward? Did you lean into it? I should say. You did a little bit, and I think you could have gone a little bit more into like the leaning into it. And here, like taking a quick step back, you see yourself backpedaling a little bit, just like you're coming backwards a little bit. Well, now you walk forward a bit because you want to go for that next shot, and you wanted that to be a little bit like more point blank, and that's good. And you got most of it. You can see how some of these bullets went right past him, and if those bullets hit him, and if it was more central to the face, that actually could have been a kill. But we're going to miss out on that. That last shot there was a left click, and it should have been a right click. We'll go back just a second. I'm going to show you. Slowly. We're going to watch this really slowly, okay? Should have right clicked first, okay? Hook. You walk back slightly. I don't think you should have walked back slightly. I think you should have just stayed up on him really, really close. Get that. Try to hit headshots with this too, by the way. On Bastion, that's really easy to do. Right? And now watch really closely your distance on this next shot, right? See that distance? That is like perfect right click distance. If that was a right click, again, that's like another opportunity. This Bastion could have died. Right. Okay, the Torb can die. 100% this Torb fucking dies here. All right, well, you can just hook him. That works too. Didn't necessarily need to use the hook there, but that's fine. And I like this. Okay, so what I'm noticing here is that this Reinhardt kind of walking on you a little bit, trying to like hold the space down here, and you don't just immediately walk into the Hog, into the Reinhardt, because your cooldowns are not up. And so nice recognition that your cooldowns are up and you're not really able to do anything without the cooldowns. Now that you have them though, you got 5 ammo, you got your hook, you got your E, you're ready to do some shit. You got all your health. This is like the moment. This is where you can make a big difference in the game. And right now, the battlefield's looking pretty heavily in your favor. Let's go up top real quick. Just take a look, right? And so you've got currently 5v2 on point. This should be easy cleanup. No mistakes here. Easy cleanup. Let's do it. Get that Ryan first. Nice. Okay. Good. Now, here's a scenario where your team's going to go ahead and push this cart, and I think you would want to, especially in the lower elos, be a bigger threat presence on the flank rather than on the cart. So I would love to see you step away from the cart here, and if I were you, I would, no hesitation, walk through this direction, peek here for just a moment, see if you can find a hook on anyone that's straggling in that little doorway, and if not, that's fine. We go this way. Okay, there's a couple options this way. Number one is this health pack is generally occupied by somebody. Right now, it's occupied by your Sombra. You can tell because it's hacked. But sometimes the enemy team wants to regroup there or have like some little. Sometimes there's someone sitting around here. Threaten it. Tell them no, you can't be here. I'm here. Right. Roadhog hogs a lane, and when I say a lane, okay, I really do mean this lane. Right. I'm not talking about main. Right. Main is this, right? The cart goes down main. Cart goes down the middle of the map. This is main. Okay, this is main. When I say a separate lane, L-A-N-E lane, I mean this way. This is left lane. Cuts into main for a second, but then goes back into left lane. This is left lane up here. This is left lane up here. This is a completely different lane. It's totally different space. And you can occupy this. You can be in here, okay? It's nice to be in here. You get to see people that are coming back to point, like this Bastion. You can hook this Bastion, do a little combo, and you don't even have to leave the high ground, right? And if you're up here, let's say, for example, how about this too, right? What if you peeked your head out here and you right-clicked, but you did not hook the Bastion? The idea being that, like, I'm Bastion, I see a hog peek and right-click me. Am I going to press W or S? Probably S. I'm not going to get my ass hooked. I want to go this way. And that's still value. That's still value. Because I want him to tell his friends that there's a hog ready to hook their ass up there. Stay over here. Let the red team cap the point. The threat of hook can sometimes keep people away from good positions. And That's something I would even think about doing. Like right click, jiggle peek, right click. That's right. I got hook. You better not walk forward. That's something you can do. Let's see what you do though. Okay, so we are generally staying on main. We're kind of going into the left here a little bit. We find the Bastion, get a hook. I'm not seeing any like melees on it, but this is a case where you actually wouldn't want to add the melee. I think you actually get more DPS by excluding the melee, so that's fine. You are still missing though some DPS out of doing the right click first. Nice kill on the Bastion. There's no reason, by the way, for you to be on main here. You could still even hang out in here, right? Because your hook's going to be off cooldown again. They're going to have to go through like this like front part first. Like as they walk through, as they're rotating like through this space right here, you can just be chilling in here and get a hook and kill someone. And it's like every time you hook and kill someone, it is just such big value. Like every time you are doing great things. If you're on main, it's just less likely that you're going to be able to get a hook because they're going to see it coming from a mile away. It's not really sneaky. And when you do not occupy lanes such as this, like if you're not sitting in here, then there's an option for an enemy team member to just walk in there, right? Like Junkrat currently dead in here. Mercy's kind of rezzing. Let's say I'm a tracer. I walk into this room and I see a Mercy rezzing a Junkrat. Like, I'm probably going to shoot this Mercy. I don't feel super contested in here. If the Junkrat gets rezzed, whatever, I'll probably take the duel after I kill this Mercy. Maybe I cancel the res, I don't know. Now, alternate scenario. I look in here, I see a Roadhog. He throws a hook at me, and then I recall out, and I'm like, back out here. I don't want to go in that room anymore because there's a Roadhog in there. Right? And so, like, there's a world where you can deny a lane by just threatening your hook and being in there, existing in there. And then there's a world where you just leave it alone and let them take it. Because there's a world, too, where, like, this Junk and Mercy are just also on main. Maybe they're up here. And then a Tracer or a whatever. You know, what do they have on their team? They have, like, a Bastion and a Torb. Like, a Torb could come through here. A Bastion could walk through here. You know, all kinds of things could walk through there. And what I'm just saying is that I'd like to see more, like, more flanking, more lane control, lane denial. Your team isn't really interested in pushing cart. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, you didn't have to E on that. Go back a second. There's the cart here for just a second. You see your health? You're at a 500. You don't need to E that. You're good. I'd recommend, like, if you're over here, for example, you can just sit on this mega, and you can look at like hooks off the wall here. Like, if you had just been chilling here, then this is a hook onto the Reinhardt into the pond, and that just wins the fight instantly. And anyone who tries to touch you, you've got a mega and an E, so you have 550 health on top of your 600. You have 1,150 health for anyone who wants to push you. Good luck. Wouldn't it be nice to have E right now? You could have walked through that and kept most of your health.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
It's pretty passive. Just like overall, I'd say this feels really passive. Like, they've got the Rhino on point. Yeah, I'm kind of glad to see you go up in a different angle though right now. That's kind of nice. I also noticed they're on Diva. So most of your hooks should be aimed at her. You're looking to not really make any aggressive plays until the Diva's out of the equation. Diva will fuck you up, so make sure, like, when she's in the equation, like, deal with her quickly. Damn, that sucks. So there's another example where a right click before the hook could have probably confirmed the kill on that Moira. Another thing you can do is, you know that Moira has fade probably. A better Moira there wouldn't even have allowed you to hook her. She would have just faded because she's paying attention to you and she sees the hook coming, so she just fades. And there's a lot of heroes like that, right? Like a Reaper, for example. If you throw a hook at a Reaper and he has Wraith form, isn't he just going to Wraith and dodge it? So there's no reason to throw a hook at somebody who just has the cooldown to outplay you. Instead, you should throw like right clicks at them, maybe get them to use their movement ability or their fade ability or their wraith, whatever that kind of ability they have. Use the ability that they have that might outplay you. And then if they're still out of position, hook them in and kill them, because then they don't have it anymore. Weird. That was just a weird movement. Like, go back for a second. Okay, so you're down a Reaper, but then your Junkrat kills 2. Like, what's the point in going down this way like this? Like, why not just drop off here and control this side? Maybe go for a hook on the Rhine, pull him in the drink, and walk forward. You can pick up this Mega if you want. I guess the D.Va's on that. This kind of backward. This thing feels so passive. Like, you're just like, I'll just choose to go this weird route and just not be in the fight. And then you even like looked back this way for a second and like kind of curved into this turn. It just seems really slow paced. Like a slow rotation. Nice kill. Ryan doing some pretty weird things. It's kind of weird that you're the cart pusher here. Someone else is pushing it now. That's good. On Rialto, this right here, what I'm looking at here, this is the most important position on the map. Or not on the map, but on this second phase. Both teams want to control this space, because this space on a defensive level prevents the enemy team from accessing the high ground by preventing them from getting into this doorway. It also has a high ground against all of this, right? And it has high ground against anyone that goes in here. And it sees every single angle that approaches this doorway. So like this position right in this doorway is extremely powerful. And so as soon as you won that fight, I would have beelined up this staircase here and started taking this point. I'd be chilling right there. Right there. My phone's ringing. Okay. It's fine. All right, so we're pushing cart. We're not really up there on the top of that platform, which I would like to be. We also have our ult here. I've just been chilling on it. It's really passive. Like, definitely, if you find yourself doing this as Hog, there's other heroes you can play. There's other heroes I think are better at just like pushing cart if you're going to be a cart pusher. And so, like, tell someone else on your team to do it. Because you're not getting any value back here. They might do some weird play like that where Bastion just suddenly appears on the cart like 1v5 and dies because he's dumb. That's not you outplaying the Bastion. That's just the Bastion being dumb. Make sure you cap this point here now, though. Like, no one's on this cart, and it's just chilling. This is really dumb. Like, obviously, cap that. There you go. Yeah, I mean, your team seems to have a pretty good handle. Nice. There's. Oh, don't do that. So she's. Yeah, this is why. This is why you want to demech the D.Va, because she just counters everything you do. Yeah, so that just that was that's just -1 whole hog. Did absolutely nothing. Oh, think behind you. Behind you, behind you, behind you. There he is. That was very preventable. Yeah. That was very preventable. This whole flank, very, very, very preventable. Just that's just like paying attention to when you're being shot from behind. Yeah. Wow, that actually worked. Your mercy damage boosted you on that one, so it was able to catch it. That was nice. I like this. It shouldn't kill anyone. It's still gonna kill your mercy somehow. Down your Junkrat too. This is where I'd be really, really safe. I'd be playing kind of safer positions. I definitely don't want to like duel this Reinhardt. I'd be looking to maybe get out of this room. Mainly just because you're down a couple. You're down your Mercy. Mercy's your only healer, and so your team has no healing right now. Good. I'm glad. Okay, this is nice. You get out of here. You don't want to duel the Rhine in there. You're looking to just like wait till your Mercy gets back. That's a good E. That's fine. You don't want to go too far up this staircase here. And in fact, once you've E'd like that, and this Diva's kind of out here, right? You're gonna have a lot more damage against her, especially because like the whole top of her mech, you see like where her head here faces this gold glass thing, like all that's a head hitbox, and so it's super easy to headshot Diva. So once she's kind of committed to this position, and let's go back a second and watch that. You see her jetting towards you. Look how she's jetting to you. All right. So what that means is that she's got her jets on 5 seconds, and that's kind of like the time. That's her time cycle to be able to like get into a fight and then get out. So here, like you do an E, you turn around, and if after this E is over, you pretty much just start burying bullets into her. There's nothing she can do, right? She can't really get away because you'll get like one hit on her. And if you kind of look at her health here, it's at 600 with 300 bit being armor. You'll be able to chip away some damage on that armor. You'll be able to like in 2 shots, you can get away with get all like the yellow armor off of it, all that 300, that top 300 bit, and then she's gonna run away. See, but the problem is if she tries to run away from the fight with jets now in that close quarters, you can cancel her jets with hook, and now she really can't get away, and now you definitely get the kill. And if you get a DMAC on Diva, you've changed like so much about how the fight's going. Diva getting DMAC'd is bigger than getting certain kills. Like it's so big. So the hook there was a mistake, and the reason the hook's a mistake is because now in a moment she's going to be able to jet away, and you can't cancel the jet with the hook, so she will be able to get away from this. Turns out she didn't even need to. In fact, I think she just jetted into you again, and so that's like definitely a huge feed from this Mercy. You should be able to punish that. There you go. Nice. Cancel the jet with the hook. You lost her back, and now this fight's going to be a lot easier for you. Damn. Almost. The team's got a couple of good picks here, though. We got a res off. There's a Rhine behind. That's really, really important. Should be looking at that. You lost your Mercy. You should win your duels against Reinhardt, just so long as he doesn't get the charge on you. The charge where he does 300 damage to you by pinning you into a wall, that will help him win the duel against you. But if he can't get that off on you because you've got your hook ready for it, you can win the duel. So I would take duel against him. Yeah, especially with Whole Hog. He can't do shit about that. I can't believe he just killed your Junkrat with that. No way. She's gonna get her mech back. That's unfortunate. Yeah, this is definitely looking sketchier. Nice hook. Nice, you didn't die to it. That's good. Almost. That'd been nice to hit. I know you're trying to line up some of these shots, but you should just be kind of like lining up shots more often and just kind of right clicking more. That left click was a huge mistake. Most of your damage is right clicks. Most of, and when I say most of, I mean if you look at a game and you compare the amount of damage you do with your left click and the amount of damage you do with your right click on a given game, you should see about 80% of your damage is all going to come from right clicks, and only about 20% will come from the left clicks. You mostly only left click as part of the hook combo, and that is almost it. Like, look, you see the spread? Look at these bullets. Look how far they spread. There's a bullet there, one there, one there, one over here. They go all the way down to here. Like this wide spread of bullets. And they have fall off damage. Like it's cool against a big target. But like some people's hero models would fit like in between some of these bullets. Like a Mercy could honestly stand in like this little void of bullets here and maybe not even get hurt hardly at all. Right. And so that's why the right click is kind of bad unless you're really, really close. Whereas a left click would take all this, it bunches it up into like a shrapnel shell, and it would actually explode at about the distance between you right here and the Rhine shield. And it'd be way more concentrated. Much more concentrated. That's unfortunate. You don't want to go for that hook, by the way, until you see the shield's dead. Like here, you're not actually doing much damage to the shield. You're doing some, right? But you can tell he has got a lot of shield because it's not even cracked. It'll actually visually tell you when his shield is less than half because you'll see the shield's cracked, right? And so in a moment here, he drops the shield. You go for this hook, but that's never going to hit, right? Especially as you go up the ranks, don't expect to hit those because he can always just block it back if he wants to. He has shield. You should kind of expect that Reinhardt's are going to be able to outplay your hook if you give him the opportunity to. And you should start kind of adjusting your playstyle so that you know certain heroes can absolutely outplay your hook. Like, for example, Moira can fade out of your hook. Reaper can just wraith when you hook him. He can see it happening from a mile away. It's very telegraphed. It's a slow ability. It's not like the hook moves that fast. Brig, for example, can just block the hook. Ryan can just block the hook. Monkey can drop his own barrier, block the hook. Lots of people, like Genji, actually his deflect blocks the hook. All of these heroes can block the hook, and you need to be able to identify, as a Roadhog player, you need to be able to identify how people are going to outplay your hook. Don't ever give them the opportunity to. So, like, you would only throw this hook at a Reinhardt when he doesn't have cover next to him like that, and his shield's broken. So he doesn't actually have the opportunity to outplay your hook. Not a lot of shooting. Good look. Count the number of shots you do, right? 1. Where's the shooting? 2. What? You just went like 12 seconds without shooting, and you just got to find targets more. And even if you're not shooting at anything, just shoot and like maybe hit stuff, right? Just get some damage in. Definitely not a lot of damage coming from you. You dodge that. Okay. Nice catch. He tried to smush you. It didn't work. Look at the D.Va more often. You want a D-Mecker. D.Va's just still behind. Yeah. Back a little bit. So you look at kind of like where you are right now. You're in the middle of this lane, and you're kind of in the middle of what you would think of as like open space. Think about like the enemy team making this push on you. Go slowly. Think about them trying to make that push on you if you were still inside this little corridor looking for a hook, chilling, right? You could be chilling. You could like peek, shoot a right click, shoot a right click, peek, shoot a right click, maybe throw a hook this way. Like the enemy team does not want to be chilling around here if there's a hog chilling right here. They might want to make a push on you. They might even do that. And if they do, that's great because your team is on this side and will hit them in the back as they do so. Catch them in mid rotation, which is perfect. But if you stand in the middle of open space, and this works, honestly, this logic works for like any hero. If you stand in the middle of open space, you are asking to take a lot of damage. And that's kind of what you did. So enemy team hit you with a lot of damage because you were standing in the middle of open space. You were just a clear target. You had nowhere to run. There was no cover. And that was a mistake. And that's going to hurt you on this hero and on many other heroes. And by many, I mean every other hero, really.
Helden sterben nicht.
The payload stopped. Executing flight maneuver round 1.
All right.
Complete.
That's a lot of information. Normally I would go on and I keep watching and go to the next one, but I'm gonna wait until I maybe get some feedback, and then I can do another VOD review for you in the future if you ask me to. But I'd like to see you apply some of these things that have been talked about. I think that given this, and as well as the Reddit post that had a few replies to it, you've got a lot to work with, and so maybe work on it a little bit, submit another one, and we can move forward. I hope this helped. Have a good one.